morning. I have been waiting for you. How are you feeling today? Today is another amazing day, Friday, the 13th, of December 2024. So it is quite challenging for some people. They're afraid of that day. They call it black and blue and green and yellow day. But anyway, it's another beautiful day to do something fabulous. So how are you feeling this morning? Good morning, Colleen. Number one, how are you feeling this morning? Today it is Thursday, Friday, the 13th, and I was looking for you. I have been searching for you all morning, and here you come. So one of the things about today is that it's the 13th. And for some reason, when I went in to do my meditation, I opened something and in my Bible reading, and it said Proverbs 13, chapter 11. I read the 13, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11 stuck with me. And so I thought, wow, I wonder what does that mean? But anyway, when I looked at my topic for the day, that was already pre-written weeks ago, it said, what we concentrate on, we get. And that was the topic I had. So it was really important for me, because when I looked to see, is it going to align? Hello, Roslyn, how are you feeling today? So when I read Proverbs 13, verse 11, it says, what is collected by haste, obtained by haste will be diminished. What is collected by hand, little by little, will multiply. And my topic before I read that was what we concentrate on, we get. So when you are being hasteful, you are not concentrating. But when you take your time, good morning, my dear. When you take your time and you go slowly, what is collected by hand, a hand takes longer to get things together than a machine, right? We know that. Talk to me about chopping stuff. Chopping with a knife takes a lot longer. Chopping through a food processor is lickety-split. So, as Proverbs said, what it tells us, what we obtain by haste will be diminished. But what is collected by hand, little by little, will multiply. And my topic was what we concentrate on, we get. So one of the things that happened with us is that we are still not ready to realize what we put our effort in, small efforts, is what will last forever. It builds better. We also look, what we concentrate on, we'll get. So when you concentrate on something, you're always thinking of that something. So what is it we concentrate on? That is the control of the mind, because we can concentrate on a fabulous life, a fabulous thing for ourselves. And if we concentrate on that, that's what we are going to get. It doesn't matter what the odds are against us. It doesn't matter what the people that tell us the odds are, you will never do it. The odds are you will never win. But if you concentrate deeply and sufficiently on what it is you desire, I didn't say hastily. I did not say, hi, Nancy, how are you feeling this morning? It is really cold here. It's colder than yesterday. So Wisconsin must be also cold, I'm sure. So the thing is, little by little. So my topic, as I was saying, Nancy, was what we concentrate on, we get. That was my topic set weeks ago. And when I opened Proverbs this morning, today is the 13th, so I read chapter 13, verse 11 told us, what we obtain by haste will be diminished. What is collected by hand, little by little, will multiply. What we concentrate on, we get. So they are aligned. If you concentrate on something, that doesn't mean you do it in a hurry. You take your time and you think about it. You spend some time and you're concentrating on what it is you desire to do. And constant, consistent concentration, things open up. Good morning, Ezra. How are you feeling this morning? So little by little is better than hastily. If you gather very hastily, no matter what, you're going to pick up a lot of sheaves with the wheat, and you cannot separate them. Then you have to spend time to separate it. It works in all aspects of our life. If we concentrate on getting even. Good morning, Yuko. How are you feeling this morning? I've been waiting for you. Here you are, guys. So what you feel that you're concentrating on, that's what you're going to receive. There's nothing different. And then today's the 13th. Read chapter 13 of Proverbs. And when you get to 11, think about it. Thank you, Ezra. It tells us what we obtain by haste will be diminished, and what is collected little by little will multiply. Wow. So that is something we need to think about. Because when you're doing things hastily, anything can happen. But if you go slowly and you concentrate and you do it daily and you work on it and you think about it as your process is going, you make a decision, you observe, you look around you. Hello, Angelina, soon I'll see you. Next week, is it? So welcome to the Morning Blessing. How are you feeling today? So one of the things we know for sure is if we collect little by little, it grows. That includes our money. That includes if we're planning to lose weight, if we're planning to diminish debt, if we're planning to walk. We do not have to rush and do 5 kilometers every day. But yes, next Friday. But yes, we can go slowly and slowly. And in going slowly and slowly, we are going to get there. Good morning, Lisa. How are you feeling this morning? So when we look at what we are doing and the day we have in front of us, little by little to gather is better than hastily. Proverbs 13, today is the 13th. And I read chapter 13 of Proverbs. That's interesting. I know I have to digress. Proverbs, in all the books of the Bible, is the only one with 31 chapters. One chapter for every day of the month. So, a long time ago, I was watching Larry King and he was interviewing a guy. He was Jewish. And he said, and he wrote the book, The Richest Man That Ever Lived. And he was talking about Solomon. And he was telling his story. He said, as a young man, good morning, Loretta, how are you feeling today? I look at Lisa, said, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is feeling great. We are all feeling wonderful and great. We're here today. And he said, as a young man in his 20s, he was working towards being an entrepreneur. And he was really focused on doing his business. And then he realized, he started in his 20s, but he kept failing. And his fathers didn't know what to tell him. He said, go talk to my friend Murray. So he said he went to talk to his dad's friend. And he said, this is my situation. I have been trying to be an entrepreneur for all this time, as you know, and I keep failing. I don't know what to do. Murray, his father's friend, tell him, you know what you do? You get out your book, your Bible, your Old Testament, and you read one chapter of Proverbs every day. One chapter. The chapter matches the date of the month. On the first, you read the first, and you keep going. And that's what he gave him as advice. And he said, 2 years after he'd been practicing this little by little, doing a chapter every day, he said he didn't understand what was happening to him. But what was happening to him is his mind was understanding the power of those words written by Solomon, who is still the richest man that ever lived. They said the other day, they cannot accumulate or compute, something like that. They said, computate the amount of money he had even taking all those things in today's value, they wouldn't have been able to reach it. Yet Solomon did not ask for wealth when he was made king. He said, give me the wisdom to lead such a great people. But he went to write the Songs of Solomon and Proverbs. That was his thing. And in Proverbs, there's so many lessons. If you read them, they become part of you. So Murray told this young man, hello, Arita, how are you feeling this morning? Loretta, too, how are you guys feeling this morning? Murray told the young guy, read the Proverbs. And he said he read it for 2 years, and then he realized how his wealth changed. His businesses became more successful. His attitude changed. He said, it made me a different person. So that's why he wrote the book, The Richest Man That Ever Lived. And he talks about the power of the words in Proverbs. So this morning, being the 13th of the month, I read chapter 13. Chapter 13 has verse 11. So I don't know exactly how many verses there were, but for some reason I read through the whole thing and I had to go back to verse 11. It says, what we obtain by haste will be diminished. What is collected by hand, little by little, will multiply. Now, weeks ago, I wrote for my morning blessings for today, what we concentrate on, we get. So concentration does not mean you do a lot of it. You concentrate on it, you pay attention to it, you concentrate on reading the book of Proverbs every day, one chapter from it. You will notice a difference in your life financially, emotionally. A lot of things will change in your life. You will find somebody will actually do something to you, hurt you, or say something to you, or hurt your possession. And you will notice a calmness in you, like, okay. The anger will not seep through that. But it's the lessons within the words of the book of Proverbs. There's so many. There is one that I really like. He who answers before hearing the whole thing is a fool. And that really makes sense, eh? So when somebody is speaking and you interrupt to jump in and, right? We all do that. But we do not have all the information. And we are answering on something that is incomplete. And that is making you look stupid. Maybe not to your friend or the person you're doing it to, but in the eyes of the energy of life, it is a dumb thing to do. And that is why haste, it doesn't make us get there any faster. Concentration on small daily actions is a lot better. Little by little, it will multiply. If you want to lose weight, like a lot of people that I know have gone and taken some medication that helps them to lose weight. And it has worked, and you see them and they look fabulous. But they can't continue, or they shouldn't, or they're stopped. And then you notice, or they're telling you they're gaining the weight again. Now, I'm sure there are other models that we can use to do that. I don't know. I've never been a heavy person. But what I know for sure, whatever I do, and I take it slowly, and I do a little at a time, beginning with the beginning of my financial journey, a little bit at a time, all the time. Good morning, my dear sister. How are you feeling this morning? It made it possible because it was never all or nothing. It was never chicken today and feathers tomorrow. It was never that. It was a slow, deliberate, concentrated action. And that is why Proverbs chapter 13, which is today's lesson, tells us, what is obtained by haste will be diminished. But what is obtained, what we collect by hand, little by little, will multiply. Can we use that today and observe our action throughout the day? Now, I know we're looking at it in the point of things. Let us look at it in the point of energy, our energy, the amount of energy we have for today. We are given a certain amount of time each day. We are given each different amounts of energy, how to function today. So if we go at like this, like the hamster on the wheel, all day today without stopping to breathe, we are going to be by 5, to quote Yuko, going constantly without taking a break. She said by 5, 6, by 7 o'clock, she's out on the couch. She's just gone. Maybe there are things that are left undone. But once she started going little by little, not the difference that she made in her life between her clients every day is 5 minutes. She takes a 5-minute break between clients every time. She has one client, she takes a 5-minute break. And she noticed that in the evening, her energy is going longer. She's not exhausted. Little by little, it will multiply. So that time that she collapsed on the couch from exhaustion because she will not breathe between clients and household duties and cooking and husbands and children, she didn't do that. But the moment she pulled back and she paused between doing one thing to go to another, her energy spread. It went longer. It multiplied. So although in Proverbs 13 verse 11, they're talking about a thing. But everything is a thing. If your energy is zapped by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, let's see a simple thing. Ask yourself this question. When last did I drink 8 ounces of water today? Just that. Ask. When last did I drink an 8 ounce of water today? I was too busy to stop and to put a glass there and to sip from it within an hour for today. I was rushing. I was pushing. I was carrying on. And now I am listless. I have a dull headache. That's me. That is how I would feel when I didn't realize that Rome wasn't built in an hour. And I would say to my husband, oh, I feel so listless. I have this dull headache. And his remedy was that, go to sleep. Take a nap. But in those days, it was like alien talk. But I realized when I thought in that moment, hey, you haven't drank much water today, did you? And if I were to drink 16 ounces of water, I feel better instantly. I had to take it in. My body needed it. So everything is a drop at a time. That same water, when it comes in a volcano, in a hurricane and a tornado, and it comes when it comes like a tsunami, it destroys everything in its path. Hello, Drew. How are you feeling this morning? So little by little, the raindrops is what the farmer needs for him to grow the crop. So anything that we collect by haste will be diminished. And what we put a little bit of time, every day, a little at a time, will multiply. And today being the 13th, read Proverbs chapter 13, and when you come on verse 11, stay there and meditate on it. And ask yourself that question. How can I correct this in my life? How can I make a decision not to swallow it all up? You know that. When you gobble your food, you don't feel well. When you put too much in your mouth and you swallow too fast, you don't feel well. That verse is powerful. We can align it with so many areas of our life. Think about it. you're choking. Why are you choking? Something is stuck in you have Orient Peace in your DM. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I'm looking for it. Send me some of Atlas, please, because he's a big boy now. I'm so excited. A baby just does that to me. Anyway, so when you look at what you are doing, you swallow, and you swallow really quickly, you're going to choke. It's going to come up. It diminishes. The effort is gone. But what you have to do for sure is make sure you chew slowly, you bite a little, and even in that song that Paul Anka wrote for Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. When I took it up, I spit it out. He couldn't swallow it. When he grabbed too much, he had to let it go. So this time, today is our last day until next year, standing talking to you here, if the universe decides we should. The thing about it is that make an effort to practice that thing and observe how your life feels. When you start practicing a slow process and a relaxation, read Proverbs just for the fun of it. See if what I'm saying is true. I dare you to read it for a year. You have to make time though. You have to put time into it though, a little bit of time at a time. And that is what grows it. And that is what makes you understand it. And of course, you might be unfortunate enough or fortunate. I love the old version and the dogs and the arts. I enjoy reading it. The modern version, I will read it. But when you read the old version, for me, it's different. Choose which version suits you and just give yourself a test. It talks about discipline in Proverbs. You know, when you're disciplined and you're minding your own business, it will prosper. It tells you about the bargain hunter that got that bargain and say, I'm not paying that, and hustle with the person at the market. And then in Proverbs, in the same verse, it tells you, and he walks away saying, I got a deal. I got a good deal. So what we're doing now was doing then. We really don't know when this was done, do we? But they're telling us it happened. The haggler haggles for a better price. And in front of the seller, he says he got taken. And Proverbs tells us, and he walks away and he's smiling because he did a good deal. He got money, he got a good deal. So there's a lot of lessons in Proverbs for you to observe. And sometimes it's the last 2 lines of a chapter, but they're all over. I could sit for hours and go through them. Challenge yourself, dare yourself to give 10 minutes out of 1,440 minutes you have that makes a day. 10 minutes. Some chapters are really short. The shortest one is chapter 9. Some are longer. And then you come to the 31st chapter. And that one is really going to tell you about the essence of a woman. Right? And that chapter is amazing. And it tells you about that woman. As much as women were put down during the old days, they had more power than most people knew. Many of us who had mothers who were born in the 19s saw these women use their wise and their little cunning ways to succeed. Yet, husbands were big shots in those days, but they found a way. Why? They only took small actions, but purposely, daily, and never stopping. So, little by little, you gather by hand will multiply. The things that you rush to do will diminish. Didn't take your time. You couldn't wait. Like my friends who lose weight on this thing and they know they're confused, concerned. My friend my student, or the person I'm coaching, who has a huge no savings, and I said, you should save some money, and we put a plan together. And without thinking, Tessa-Marie, I put $500 from my paycheck in the savings account. I said, great. And that's what I said, I'm happy for you that you're able to do that with the plan I set in front of you. Good for you. 2 weeks later, at the next meeting, I said, how is the savings going on, man? I had to take, I only have 20 left. I said, well, that tells me you should have only saved $20 every payday. And how will that build? Slowly, little by little, fills the pot. The farmer does not want torrential rains. I know. On the estate, they build this big thing called culverts, so that when the topsoil washes out, it goes there and they have to shovel it back up again. That's the good part of it. So what they need is a consistent tiny shower. That's what they need. What do we need? Is consistently to lose the weight little by little. What do we need? Is to pay off the debt and concentrate and be consistent on doing it little by little, and allowing yourself to still live your life. I have a young man and lady who just got their condo after a lot of stress because it wasn't really managed properly, and I had to coach them for hours and hours because of the situation. Rushing to get it. Real estate wants to make the sale on a brand new condo, put them in a situation where they couldn't afford it. But fate sometimes put people in your path. I had met the girlfriend because I was coaching him, and I saw this person like this in the frame. I said, who is that? And that's my girlfriend. I said, why isn't she in the frame? Isn't this situation for both of you? And when I spoke to her that day, I realized English was her second language. She was educated but not sure of herself, or, she was insecure in certain ways. And I offered to coach her. I said, can I talk to you on Saturdays? So I coached her on how to think. She was always thinking of depression, and she came from Poland, and she always had this sadness in her that it was just. So I had to get her to do some tapping. I had to get her to meditate. I had to get her to do things like that. And then she needs a job. So I said, send my daughter your resume and she will help you. So Jillian redid the resume and then guided her how to get a job. So this is it. I didn't know the true story of this condo purchasing of this $800,000 condo. I didn't. So anyway, that set up, and then I know they had bought it, but I thought that the real estate agent that was always around them had paid due diligence to what should happen. But the real estate agent sold them the condo, told them you need to put 25% down, and never questioned how they would pay for it. He was only earning $40,000, yet his name was on it and her name was not. So when I got into that, I went in it, I dissected it, I had hours and hours of talking with them. But it was a tough journey. The only thing is the inspiration I got that day. When I saw half of a woman on the edge of a frame and the man is taking up the space like a giant in this day and age. You guys know something left my foot and went to my head, and I would say, no. I do not have to do it again, right, Loretta? Like I had to say, don't give my cousin your paycheck. And I had to do it again. In doing the process of coaching her and putting her in under Jillian's guidance, she was able to get a job in the government because she was educated. She is educated. Her income was $82,000 a year. And she didn't have that income. A year before, they would have lost that 25% of $800,000. Because the woman did not see that, to make sure that they were qualified to pay the mortgage. And that is what helped them to be in that position. But every now and again when I speak to them, with him, I always have to be pulling the rein back, like saying, come on, go slow to go further. I just want to pay up that mortgage right now. You know, when somebody has that attitude, they're going to miss opportunities. All of the purchase of this rests entirely on the female. She had the income. She was able to get a line of credit. He couldn't qualify on that income to carry this. And when the woman, knowing that they knew me, and they went to and said, the bank is saying our building is less than it's worth, she said to them, ask Tessa-Marie, she can help you with that. Just like that. And I said, but they went back just to find out if that person really understood what she did. But he still now needs to be reined in and realize you have to live life while you're paying that mortgage. You still have to make allowances for your life, for your freedom, for a dinner. Hi, Julius, how are you feeling this morning? For anything, rather than your constant thing is to get rid of debt. You can concentrate on it, but you do not have to give it 100% of you. You have a life to live. So that was the message for today. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11. What we obtain by haste will diminish. What is collected by hand, little by little, will multiply. This couple needed education before they went into this. Luckily, for some grace of God, they came across me. And I decided, without thinking, I'm going to do this. So success is there for them. But I wish I can impart on them that when you see somebody going down the same way you are going, to rein them in and say, come on, think about it. No, they despise this person, which they shouldn't, because that was the person's doing. But educate yourself. Go slow to go further. Because to lose $50-something thousand, and then she had the audacity to tell them so many clients cannot close. And I'm saying, what is that? Is that your business? Who cannot close the deal? That's what she told. That was her. And saying some people have to come up with a whole $100,000 more. You're lucky you only have to come up with $54,000. Can you believe that? They're out there. So make sure you understand that. Go slow to go further. Go slow and collect small amounts so it can multiply. Anyway, have a wonderful Christmas, all of you. And holidays and Hanukkah and Ramadan and Festival of Lights, if they're going to repeat it again or whatever. Your Kwanzaa. Celebrate Christmas in style, your holidays in style. Do your best, relax. And those of you who have taken the time to put up a Christmas tree, come on, ladies. Sit in front of that tree, cross your leg, and pour yourself a glass of wine, sherry. I don't care, water, tea, coffee, and just absorb that. Take a little time to enjoy the season. It doesn't have to be gallop everywhere. Yuko told us, yes, one of my favorite books I made, good reference to Proverbs in my book series. Thanks, Rosalind. Tessa has mastered how to schedule her reels. I have. Thank you, Yuko. Don't forget to check. Tessa will keep posting Morning Blessing on reels. I forgot to say that. That's true. I learned to be persistent, to take 5 minutes. And forget to take 5-minute breaks the other day. End of the day, I fell asleep on the couch till 9:30 p.m. Oh my God, Yuko. I have to check these things from Drew. So that's what it is. Take time off. It's even if you have to park the car in the parking lot and sit there, I don't care. Take some time off. The the importance of the task is after every task, you take a break. That's what you have to do. So I'm posting on thing, and I might do a impromptu live. I go somewhere, I might take a picture like we did having lunch. Right, Lisa? Something like that. Thank you, everybody. Let me just say who is here. Nancy, Ezra, Yuko, Lisa, Colleen, Arita, Dawn, Loretta, and Roslyn. Thank you, wonderful, amazing humans. And I will see you. It's hard to leave you guys and to go, but you have to take a break, right? That's a nice break. I'm just going to put my legs up and listen to my son tell me that I should be doing that. Oh, Mom, you always have grease on your hands. Your hands are always, but look at the skin. Isn't that beautiful? That's what I told him. And he walked away. Talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye-bye.